There is a secret hidden for thousands of years. As the master of food and beverage of this place, he will reveal it to you. The world needs to know. His name is Paul Schenk.
Hi, I'm Paul Schenk, and I'm here to introduce you to the world's best-kept culinary secret. It's Korean food, also known as hanshik. Now we're going to make a dish. It's a big mouthful. 도토리묵 쟁반. 도토리묵 is acorn jelly. 도토리묵. 쟁반 means tray or plate, and it's probably the healthiest dish I've ever made, and no doubt the healthiest dish I've ever eaten. Let's go give it a crack. Come with me. So here we are, back in our little humble kitchen. Mr. Kim and I is going to help me with this dish today. Got to get the ingredients out of the fridge so we can get started with this dish. Let's go and get the veggies out. So this dish is a vegetarian's dream. Don't be scared off by that. It is a simple dish. Let me get at the vegetables first. We've got a lot to get here. Super healthy. All right. Okay, so I've got everything out of the fridge. We're going to start off with julienne slicing a lot of the ingredients. Okay, so we'll start with the cucumber. I just want to take off the top and the bottom of the cucumber, and then I'm going to peel down. You can see the ridges on the cucumber. I just want to take them off quickly. Oh, a little bit too much then. That happens. You can use a peeler also to do this. Julienne. So what we need to do is just slice the cucumber on the angle, thinly, like so. And then we're going to run a knife through it to get the matchstick size, just like this. I'll pull one out. See, that's like matchstick dangling there. All right, radish sprouts. The sprouts, we've just got to give off a bit of a wash. So I'm going to cut the bottom of them off. They're already perfect Mother Nature matchstick size. So by doing that, I'll cut that in one go. You can see I've already got them trimmed to the right size. We'll give them a wash, and we're in action. Okay, next up is the carrot. Take the top and the bottom off the carrot. We peel the carrot to get it the matchstick size. We want to cut it through and then very thinly slice it down. Julienne. Julienne means matchstick size. Next step, we've got the onion. Cut the onion in half. We take out the core of the onion. I'll take off the end a bit just to trim it as well. I'm simply going to slice it finely. Cabbage. Cabbage is a little bit trickier. So what I'm going to do, I need to get the cabbage once again matchstick length apart. So I'm going to cut it here. First, to make this a little bit easier, I'll take this part first. Take off the end so I get a nice clean shape. And once again, slicing down finely. You can see from that, it's giving us perfect matchstick size shape of cabbage. Duncan, come in. I'll show you how to julienne a tomato. We cut the tomato into quarters, or you can do it even into eighths. You take out the flesh by simply pressing down on the board, and all you're left with is the skin, and then we slice it through. Slice that through, and once again, we've got a nice or a good shape of what we're after. I've got the Korean pear next, or the pea. We'll take off the top and the bottom. And the bottom. Oh, look at the juice coming out of that. This is just a gorgeous fruit. I love it. There's many ways you can peel. I'll use the peeler for television, because I'm sure everybody at home has one of these and is more used to using something like this. Just simply peel around it. And coming down to the end. Okay, there's the pear. Cut it in half. It has seeds in it, just like an apple or just like a pear. We're going to cut the seeds out. I want to leave it full length. So what I will do is just take off the end. And of course, nothing goes to waste in my kitchen, especially when it's pear. Crispy, juicy, full flavour. And it should be worldwide. So you slice it down, and then we slice it lengthwise to give us that pattern. And you can see once again, we've got our matchsticks. Next up, radish. Slice it down, be very careful with this one. We want to get it thin. Use the knife sawing motion and get it thin. See how thin that's getting? That's what we want. Slice it down. We'll continue to do that. Paper thin. You can see that again. Then what I'll do is we'll stack it up like a stack of cards. Now I'm going to make the marinade, and Mr. Kim is going to help me and slice the rest of that while I make the marinade. Mr. Kim, can you just slice that for me? I'm going to make the marinade now. Okay, for the marinade, or for the sauce, what do we need? We need vinegar, sugar, and salt. Even amounts. That easy. I've got sugar here. I'll measure that out by sight. So that's sugar. I've got salt here. Ground salt. That's good. And white vinegar. You can use any kind of vinegar, cider vinegar, any white vinegar is good. Vinegar goes in. As I mentioned earlier, even amounts, possibly a little bit more vinegar. It's okay. That's done. Mr. Kim, you got the radish? Perfect. Okay, so the radish is ready. We put it into a bowl, and of course we're going to submerge it, fully submerge it in the liquid. Put that in and over. So that radish will pickle, marinate overnight, but it should be done the night before. But the magic of television, I've got some that I prepared a little bit earlier. Radish is done. Next step, we're going to prepare our lettuce. The lettuce that I've prepared for the day, I've got a few different varieties. Now, I'm going to slice the lettuce, take off the end. We're going to just slice it like so. Not too fine. Slice lettuce. I've also got some chicory lettuce here. So it's a lettuce that's a little bit different. Again, because this is quite big, I'm just going to cut it down the middle. So I'll pass that over to Mr. Kim, who's going to get that ready for me. He's gone. He'll be back in a second, I hope. I hope. Okay. He actually prepared earlier for us some eggs. We've got what's an interesting looking thing here. It's a disc of egg yolk that's cooked, and we've got a disc of egg white that is also cooked. Now, we just need to slice these into widths and then again in matchstick. So I'll just give that to Mr. Kim. Mr. Kim, he's back. He's back, thank goodness. I was starting to panic there for a second. What's that over there? Hey. Oh. It always works. I love that pear. Gorgeous. Dotorimuk is the key ingredient of this dish. As I mentioned earlier, it's an acorn jelly. And the acorn jelly comes in packaging like this. Pre-prepared, ready to go. Little tip, there's a lot of pressure in here, and when you try and open it from the top, it won't pop out easily. So to make it pop out easily, you've got to break the pressure from the bottom. Take out a little bit of the corner. Take out the corner like so. Make sure you find the plastic piece and put it in your garbage bin. You don't want that flying around in your salad. All right, I'm going to open the top up. There is quite a bit of liquid inside as well, as you can imagine from a jelly. And that should just pop straight out. Voila! I want to take off this pattern so it doesn't look so processed. That means taking off all the edges. So you can see that piece now has no pattern left on it. I'm going to run the knife through halfway. Halfway. We'll cut it in half. Stand it up. And then we'll cut it down. Just cut it straight down. And we've got our sheet ready to slice. It's a lot safer. Okay, I'm going to slice this into batons. There we go. That's about the size that I want. That's the baton of acorn jelly. So we're on to the sauce. This is the final thing. It's ginger. I've got my ginger. All I'm after is a little of the ginger. So we've obviously got to peel it down. I'll take 1 or 2 slices only, very thin slices. Finally slice it and then chop it. I love fresh ginger, and it's a great flavor additive in many dishes. Gochujang, why not? You can get this at your good Korean grocer anywhere in the world. So I'm going to put in a couple of spoons of gochujang. That's the name. I've got some dried chili powder. I'm going to put in a touch of dried chili powder. I've got some crushed garlic, 1 spoon of crushed garlic. I'm going to put in a couple of good tablespoons of the corn syrup. I have some lemon juice here, some fresh squeezed lemon juice. Put in 1 spoon for now. I'll taste it afterwards. Sugar is definitely a key element to this one. I'm going to put in a couple of spoons. And I've got sesame seeds as well. I love sesame seeds. I'll give this a good mix. You can see how thick and glutinous the gochujang is, thanks to that rice flour in there. And now it's thinning down. This dish is served on crushed ice. What an interesting concept. Thanks, Mr. Kim. So you can see that. Big bowl, crushed ice. Great for the summertime. Okay, the radish is ready. The radish goes directly on top in the middle. So, I'm going to put this according to color. I've got carrots, cabbage, chicory lettuce, pear, I'll do next, or the Korean pear, dotorimuk, acorn jelly, egg yolk, sprouts go on, tomato, some red, crown daisy leaves, and I've got the egg white, a little bit more of lettuce, the onion, look at that, coming together nicely. This is the kind of dish you could serve at a cocktail party, pre-dinner drinks, with your friends. If you've prepared a nice dinner, have that as a pre-cocktail. When you put the dotorimuk, we've got to put a little bit of salted seaweed on there, salted kim on the muk. That's a tradition. Sort of goes hand in hand together. So there we have it. I think we've just uncovered another world's best kept culinary secret. Dotorimuk, that's the acorn jelly. Chenban, chenban means plate or platter. Dotorimuk chenban. I hope you enjoy making it. What can I say? Wonderful dish. Give it a crack, it's easy. Hi, I'm Paul Schenk, and I'm here to introduce you to the world's best kept culinary secret, Korean food, also known as hanshik. Now we're going to make a noodle dish. It's a very simple, humble noodle dish. 도토리묵국수. Dotori means acorn, muk means jelly, kuksu means noodles. So it's acorn jelly noodles. It's time to give it a crack. I've got in front of me a pot of about 2 cups of water. It's cold water. I've got some dried kelp, also known as dashima. I'm going to put this directly into the cold water. Okay, so I'll bring that to the boil. I've also got a pot of water here, already on the boil. I'm just going to turn that down a little bit. This is actually for the noodles a little bit later. In the meantime, I need to prepare a couple of ingredients, so I've got to go to the fridge and grab them out. Okay, the first ingredient I need for this one, I'll come back for you later. First ingredient is good old-fashioned kimchi. Just going to pop it down there. What I'm going to do with the kimchi, I'm going to dice this up into chunks, do some pre-preparation, and then what I will do afterwards, we're going to pop it into our noodle dish to give it an extra depth of flavor and a whole different texture as well. So put the kimchi into here. That's definitely going to be enough. I've just got to strain off my kelp. You can see the kelp in there. It's grown in shape. It is becoming softer. So I'll simply run my strainer through that, take off each and every piece. I can smell the seaside in full flavor. In front of me, I've got some anchovies. Anchovies are in next. Anchovies have been cleaned, their heads are off. I've got some shrimp, dried shrimp. So I just pop them in there. So we've got the anchovies, the dried prawns in there, or shrimp. Bring that to the boil for a further 5 minutes. While it's boiling, I'm going to go and grab the next thing out of the fridge. Come with me. What am I looking for? I think I'll do this one next. Okay. So I have in front of me the dotorimuk. Now, dotori, as I said, is acorn, muk is jelly. Not commonly made these days at home or by hand. It's just bought ready to go. Still, it has the full flavor. Just cut through the plastic on the bottom corner, take off the seal, pop it out in one go. Okay, good. Dotorimuk. I'm going to cut off the edges first to get rid of that pattern, and then I'll take off the top. Now, what I'm going to do is cut it in half this way. I will cut it in half this way, simply cut down. Then I'll cut it into batons. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pieces out of each quarter. Good. The stock's been boiling or simmering for 5 minutes. Earlier we put the shrimps and the anchovies into it. Now I'm going to strain this off and we'll do the next process with the stock. Okay, I've got the pan. We'll change it over. Strain that off directly. Wow, those prawns have a very strong aroma. No doubt the stock has a full flavor. I'm going to put in some dried chili. Now all of these ingredients, no doubt, you can get from your Korean grocer. Peppercorns, pinch of peppercorns. I've got pre-prepared a top of a shallot or a green onion. 1 slice or very thin slice of regular onion, very thin slice of ginger, and 5 whole cloves of garlic. That will go in there. We'll boil that for a further 10 minutes. I'm going to pre-prepare the last ingredient for cutting. So let's go to the fridge. Gotta love it. What have we got left? We've got mushrooms. A couple of mushies. That's the next step. Okay, I've got the pyogo mushrooms. These are fresh, beautiful pyogo mushrooms. It's a very mild aroma when they're not cooked, also known as shiitake. I'm going to slice these, not thinly slice them, just roughly slice them. And this will be the fourth step to our stock. So, the mushrooms are done. Okay, we're back. I've got the stock. It's been boiling for 10 minutes. Now I'm going to strain that off, change my pot, back into that pot again. It's got a gorgeous flavour now. I can smell the peppercorns, I can smell the onions. Full flavour, it's changed its colour. So, I'm going to add to that the mushrooms that I just sliced, straight in, directly. To that, I'm going to add a little bit of soy sauce as well. Soy sauce will give it a little bit of saltiness and also add some flavour. Okay, looking good. Add a little bit of salt into the boiling water. This is for the noodles, just a little. Now the noodles. These are dotori noodles. Dotorimukuksu. Dotori means acorn. Acorn noodles. Of course they're mixed with flour. There we go. All right, that should be good. That's a fistful. A small fist. All right, you can see that. That's enough for two. We'll put it straight into the water. In the meantime, my stock is simmering. You can see the mushrooms. It's got a good flavour there now also of the mushrooms. Full seafood smell I can smell there. If you don't like seafood in your noodles, then make a nice, strong vegetable stock. That's the other option. Of course, put some chilies in it. It's not Korean kuksu without a little bit of chilies. All right, that's ready. It's coming up to the boil. I'm going to strain this off. Got the pot ready. Voila. We'll just wash that off under some cold water. Once again, taking the edge off. I'll just check the noodles and make sure that they're cooked properly. They're looking good. How are they? Al dente, as the Italians would say. Perfect. What I need to do now is put them into a bowl or a dish under or submerged in cold water. I'm going to show you a little technique for wrapping Korean noodles. I'm going to use one finger, my middle finger, to pinch the noodles or to hold the noodles. This is good for one portion. Now, Duncan, if you come in here, you can see they're wrapped around one finger. Yeah, I'm going to wrap them around my second finger, like so. Put them in the middle of the bowl. They're pretty tight. And then that gives us a nice little bundle. We're ready for plating, ready for the final action. On top is the kimchi that we diced and prepared earlier. Dotorimuk, the acorn jelly. This is the key point of this dish. The noodles are acorn noodles, and here is the acorn jelly. Then I've got the eggs that I prepared earlier. I'm also going to put them on. One of the traditional dish garnishes that goes on top of noodles whenever we prepare them in Korea is the salted kim, or the salted seaweed, finely chopped up. That goes on top. I've got some sesame seeds also going on top. And then we're going to finish this with the actual stock. So the stock's ready, full of mushrooms, great seafood smell. Once again, you can make this fully vegetarian if you choose to. Okay, so that's looking great. We have just uncovered another world's best kept secret. This is dotorimukuksu, also known as acorn jelly noodles. It's a really simple dish to make. Give it a crack. It's a gorgeous dish to eat and so healthy. Enjoy it.